I have a non-football question for you. So you're a Yankee fan, correct?
Yes, I am.
I'm a diehard Yankee fan. We were just having this discussion. If you caught Aaron Judge's 60-second home run ball, would you give it back to him, or would you demand a lot in return
I'd
for
give
it?
it back to him in a heartbeat.
Why's that?
Because it's part of history, it's part of baseball. You know, what, really to get a monetary value back from what someone else has done, it's ridiculous. So, and big fan.
I won't tell you what I would do then.
Big fan of Aaron Judge, big fan of the Yankees, and Chad Bowling, good friend of mine, is the mental strength coach with the Yankees, so I keep up with them on a daily basis.
You're going to be so disappointed in Matt now.
I keep up with them on a daily basis too, and my answer is very different than that.
Well, this makes the world go round, right? Different streets for different feats.
Hey, Rich, Matt LaFleur, not extortion Matt,
I got it.
said earlier this week that there's a mentality brewing on special teams. How would you define that mentality right now, and how do you kind of see not just the guys that have been with you in the past, but now the guys that are getting to know you and play for you more, getting that mentality?
Well, I really think there's a mentality brewing, you know, within our entire team, right? Every year is a new team, and so I think we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to build a team that knows what to do, that cares about each other, competes with relentless effort, and plays together. And I think that's transcending through the entire team, and I like to think we're just a part of that.
So you've come into places that struggled and gotten the special teams going again a number of times. I know each team is different, but are there certain mileposts that you want to see, or are there certain things that happen that you start to see, okay, we're starting to move in the right direction?
Really well put, question-wise. I think we're looking for daily improvement. I know that maybe sounds like a cliche, but we're a lot of times in the kicking game, we're asking guys to do techniques and fundamentals that they don't do at the position that they play. You know, the guys on the punt team are mostly linebackers and safeties and tight ends and those things, and they don't usually, you know, pass set to some degree like we're doing. So I think we're looking for daily improvement in skills that they may not have used before. And then after that, we're looking for guys that, again, know what to do and can compete with relentless effort throughout the game on a one-play mentality. And it just takes a little bit getting used to at times, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
Matt was saying he was really impressed with the progress from week 1 to week 2 in special teams. Just what were your impressions when you look back on the tape? Did you see that progress as well?
I think in our experience in the NFL, you improve mostly from game 1 to game 2, and I think we were no different. We had some improved parts in all really 6 phases, and there were some things that we certainly have to clean up, and hopefully we'll get that done before Sunday's game. So we're just, again, it's never going to be perfect, and we're constantly looking for some type of improvement in there. And there's always going to be things that when you win, you have to make sure you don't let the win mask some of the issues that went on in the game. You have to be able to pick those up and correct those as well.
Sporadic traffic notwithstanding, how's Pat hitting the ball?
Yeah, I think he's had 2 really good games, and he's kind of calling his pitches for the first time to some degree, and the breeze has played a factor last week. You know, the first game we played indoors, and he had played in Minnesota before in his career, certainly being in the division. So we think he's played well the last 2 weeks. He's done a nice job holding for us on kicks as well.
Rich, obviously Amari had the nice 20-yard punt return, then he muffed the one later. In your evaluation, what helped produce the good and what led to the not so good?
Well, I just really love to get more than 20. You know, we got 20 was good to the 46, and we want to hang on the football. You know, we want to make good decisions in the red zone, and we don't want to muff the football. But we don't want to miss blocks or miss tackles or any of those things either. So he's worked real hard and have come up and catch them as well as go back and catch them. So we'll hopefully play a little bit better this week.
I'm sure you'd love to have big returns all the time, but the fact that your coverage has been good, is that something you can really hang your head on, that, you know, no one's really gotten much on you?
Well, I mean, we did give up a 38-yard return. Now they called a hold on it, and we gave up a 30-yard return as well. So I think that, again, we're a work in progress. Every week is different, you know, so we're looking forward to, you know, the competition that we're getting ready to play this week. We're playing a real physical, fast, football team in all three phases, but certainly in our part in the kicking game. You know, they're good at both ends on the return game with one at punt return and now the rookie 29's returning kicks. And they've got an experienced kicker in Suck Up back there, and they got a rookie punter that's really punting the ball well, and he also kicks off. I had one hang time from him was almost over a 5-0 on a kickoff, which is unheard of. So I think we're just really concentrating on what we're going to have to go through this week in order to perform well in this particular game.
I'm not asking about Mason missing practice, but is Ramiz ready to kick on Sunday if need be? Is he at a good place, do you think?
Well, Mason practiced yesterday, and that was his kicking day, and he played. He had a good day. So I fully anticipate, seeing Mason on game day.
So Pat can kick away, at least most of the time. I guess what's the thinking there? We've had a lot of coordinators here before you who wanted to, kick it up high, let the coverage get down there, and limit that net. What's the thinking of just letting him?
Well, we didn't say kick away, but I think if you look at Pat, kind of like a golfer, he's got a lot of clubs in his bag. So there's been different punts at different places we've been on the field in the two games that we've played, and that's kind of what I mean about calling his pitches, whether he wants to go left, right, down the middle, hit a big ball, hit a flop, whatever those things are. We work all those situations on the field during the week of practice on Wednesday, usually, and on Friday, and then he has a chance to look at the script. At the end of the week, we'll meet Saturday morning and go through both Wednesday and Friday script and see what we want to do, where we are on the field, and then the wind is going to always play a factor in the punt that he decides to do. So there's a lot involved into it, the protection, what's the front, are they overload, are they even, are they doubled on one side or doubled on the other, those things. So that's kind of what I mean about him calling his pitches.
So he's basically, it's up to him, but that's kind of like a quarterback running a 2-minute drill, right? Sort of.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, he's the punter, and again, he knows what they're trying to do to us, and where we are on the field, what the wind condition is, and where he'd like to go with the football. And I think that's what you've seen the last 2 weeks.
Back to Amari for a second. After the muff, is that something you get after him about in the game, or do you wait until practice? You're going to look at the tape and show him coaching points then.
Yeah, I think it's getting after him at that particular time. He didn't want to drop the ball. He didn't want to muff the ball. He kind of hauled his butt up there to make the catch, and I'd like to see him hang on to the football. I think he's got some room up the sideline over there if he hangs on to it. So he knows that. Just when he came over, just talked to him about get your hands high, keep your eyes on the ball, and then you got to move on, right? So, guys drop passes, guys miss blocks, guys miss tackles. That's part of it. You'd like to think that we can correct that and hopefully get better as we get going forward.
Rich, have you let your punters call their pitches yourself a lot in your career, or is this something different because Pat's kicked as long as he has?
No, I've we'd like to think we'd like our punters and kickers to get a masters in themselves. I think if I'm the guy that's going out there, I'll tell you, hey, you got to go right here. You got to go left here. I want you to hit a big ball here. Well, I'm not sure what the front's going to be when we get out there. I'm not sure what the wind is doing when we get out there. They know about that. It's just like kickoffs. I want to have a conversation, although it may be quick, with Mason and all the other kickers I've had about where we'd like to go. We'd like to go left, we'd like to go right. What's our plan during the course of the week, and then what factors do we have with the weather conditions during the course of the game? If you have a hard wind one way or the other and you force a guy to punt the ball into the wind or kick the ball into the wind, you got a chance for him to be unsuccessful, and I don't think that's what we're trying to do.
In talking with Dallin and Keyshawn and Rudy this week, they all said that the full cover stuff you do on punt coverage is really valuable for getting ready for Sunday. And I haven't covered other teams, but I've been here a pretty darn long time. I don't think I've seen that be very commonplace around here. Is that something you've always done? And do you think that that's valuable? Because I know there's the drawback of obviously that's strenuous in practice to some degree, right?
Well, I think we do it in a way in which it's conducive to them playing well on Sunday. And we've always done it that way. We've kind of had a system of, 11 play scripts, 9 play scripts, which ones you run on 3, 6, and 9. And so we're not full speed running for 9 plays or 11 plays or anything like that. And we have a thing called glide stride practices where we're actually learning how to stride the field, but it picks up as we get going as well. But you have to, in our opinion, teams-wise, we have to run the field because that is what we do. And if we don't somehow get on our landmarks and get in our lanes and understand how to fan the field and then work pad leverage, and if you, in our opinion, if we don't do that in practice, it's hard to play well in the game. So it's just something we've tried to keep doing as much as I've been doing this for the time I've been doing it. We've done it for a long time.